Hey, good to see you, and welcome to another Awesomeness Overload. So today we're going to talk about a few different things that have been going on, especially recently, and within the last week or so. So, as you know, E3 happened last week, and I'm only going to cover the Microsoft portion of it, because that's all I watched. So I'm not going to give you any information on PS4. Sorry. So E3 came and went very, very quick. If you don't know what E3 is, it's like the biggest thing that everyone looks forward to in the world of gaming every summer. It's a convention just basically geared towards game developers and to announce exciting new games that are coming up. So, without further ado, let's get right into the Microsoft portion of it. E3 was having their most popular tweet kind of thing going on, and it looked like the most buzzed about game was Call of Duty. So Call of Duty got an insane amount of tweets just concerning it, so it was the most highly anticipated game that people have been kind of looking forward to, is the new Call of Duty. So E3 opens with Metal Gear Solid, and it's just a huge kind of opening trailer for the game. And the official game is called, and there was a lot of speculation with this game about what it was called, and I think there was a trailer going on that people were kind of guessing at what this game was called. Well, it looks like that Metal Gear Solid is called Phantom Pain. A lot of the crowd went really crazy during this trailer, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not a big Metal Gear Solid fan. I've never actually played, so I'm not a part of that fan base, I guess. But it looks like a really great franchise, and I'm sure that it is. To me, the game looked like a mix between Red Dead Redemption and Splinter Cell a little bit. It had like a Western vibe, that of Red Dead Redemption, but Splinter Cell aspects were in it, as far as like this kind of like Black Ops, stealth kind of mode looking to it. I don't know. It is open world. I don't know if Metal Gear Solid was open world before, but it is now, and I think that a lot of people went crazy over that, so that's pretty awesome. Reminded me a little bit of Assassin's Creed, just being it so huge and vast looking, but there you go. Now it looks like this new Xbox console, according to Microsoft, it's much more sleeker, quieter, and smaller than the previous Xbox before. So, that got people really wired up for this new announcement that they're going to announce of this new Xbox. So people who are part of the Gold membership, if you're a part of the Gold membership on Xbox Live and you're able to play online, you know that you are a Gold member. Now, according to Microsoft, on July 1st, they'll be letting gamers download 2 free downloads, a part of a vast array of different popular games that have basically graced the Xbox. A few of those games being Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. So you get a free download of free awesome games. So how about that? Pretty awesome, right? Now after they made this announcement, they basically went into the gaming aspect, and they wanted to share 3 amazing titles. So here are a few of them. There was World of Tanks, and that one got people pretty excited. And I mean, who doesn't love blowing stuff up with tanks? You know, as we do. Max, The Curse of the Brotherhood. And one of my favorites that looked absolutely stunning was Rise.
There once was a shining city on 7 hills, a place of beauty and freedom. Then freedom became corruption, decadence, and degradation. But the gods know what once was can't be again. If a son of Rome were to rise.
It looks completely different from anything I've ever seen. In the game, you take hold of the character Marius Titus, and he fights for the Roman Empire, and it's going to be one of the first games that launches when the Xbox One launches. Killer Instinct went super crazy by the fans. I mean, they just went insane. I've heard of Killer Instinct, but watching it and I guess seeing it for the first time, I thought it was an amazing looking fighting game. It's got some pretty radical looking characters on it. And who doesn't love fighting games? I'm a huge fan of fighting games. Another game that I'm really anticipating is Sunset Overdrive. And it looked like a mix between Mirror's Edge with kind of a cartoony effect of Jet Set Radio Future, if you played any of those two games. Both extremely amazing games, and very fast-paced and very exciting and colorful. The game looked absolutely breathtaking, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that game. Now, for all you crazy driving gamers, Forza 5 came out as the next title, and it looked absolutely breathtaking. I mean, the textures on the cars looked completely like lifelike, almost better than life. And they actually had a real car out there, and it looked insane just up there on the platform with the rest of the developers. It looked amazing. Another title was Quantum Break, and it looked very promising. It was it looks like a sci-fi, futuristic kind of shooter with a little bit of a twist. And you take a hold of the character Jack Choice, and who's apparently a failed time experiment. So it looked very promising. So be sure to check that out as we get closer to the launch date. Now, Project Spark was one of the games that I thought was very creative and very colorful and very different in its own way. So you basically take the role of a god, so to speak. You can create your entire world. I mean, they were showing the demo of this game, and it was like creating forests and waterfalls and moats and changing the position of the sun, so 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. would look so completely different, and the casting of the shadows and everything. But it was more than just creating your own world. It was creating your own enemies, your own heroes, and basically anything you felt like it. And it just looked completely insane because your imagination is the only thing that limits you. Now, I know that there are a lot of YouTubers out there who like to make YouTube videos on their gaming, and they love to game and share it with the rest of the world. So now, Xbox One allows you to do that with Upload Studio. So whenever you're having a game and you're fighting with a friend or on your own, or you're playing any game whatsoever, you can create and record your own videos of you gaming. So it's pretty awesome for gamers who are YouTubers as well, and have an easier platform of just publishing straight away on YouTube after playing a video game. So who doesn't love that? You get to broadcast your gaming across the world and share it with everybody that you know and everybody that you don't know. So thumbs up to all those gamers out there. Can't wait to see those. A lot of people were excited for Xbox moving to money. I think that a lot of people were not upset, but kind of thought that it was kind of pointless to have Xbox points. And now we're moving from Xbox points to real money. Dead Rising 3. They showed a preview of that and it looked amazing. I've never been a big fan of Dead Rising, but Dead Rising 3 absolutely looked great. The zombies looked a lot more fearsome, and the entire environment just looked very real and great to explore. Looks like it's going to be open world and no more loading times. As one of the developers, or the creators of the Xbox One, went up on stage, he went to announce a new game called Battlefield 4. And as the video started to play, it looked like there was no sound, and the crowd started booing, and there were lots of harsh things called out towards the developers regarding Xbox, and there were a lot of boos, and it just felt very... it made me cringe, to be honest, and it just made me feel really uncomfortable, and I'm sure it made a lot of viewers feel uncomfortable at that part, just because it just looked like it went downhill from there. And you know, Microsoft just picked itself back up and continued on. But I think that left a lasting impression on Microsoft as to the reaction of the audience, who were expressing their opinions, and a lot of those opinions were very disapproving. But you know what? Microsoft made a recovery and decided to show Halo, a new trailer for Halo, and it looked absolutely breathtaking. It looked like it just captured the entire audience because they were silent when this trailer was playing, and it just looked amazing of a game. So, and who doesn't love Halo? And it was also announced that Steven Spielberg will be working on a live-action series. So, all you Halo fans, which I know there are many, many, many Halo fans, you're going to be really excited to know that Steven Spielberg is behind this, who's a big fan of Halo as well. So it looks like Xbox launches in November for $499, so roughly $500. And there you have it. That was E3's Microsoft conference. So, what do you think? Now, moving on from E3, we're going to talk a little bit about the controversy surrounding Microsoft right now. So it looked like there was a rough draft letter that Don Matrick wrote. There was just it looked like a PR, just mess. I guess this rough draft came out saying that, very harshly saying, I think just because of so much scrutiny, I think that it's gotten Microsoft in such a agitated and furious position as well, of all the complaints, that they've decided to change some of their policies. Or I can direct you to TheVerge.com, where they have some great articles on what's been happening with Microsoft and their latest kind of PR mess up, is all I can really say. The thing I wanted to talk about was that concerning Microsoft and the Xbox and everything surrounding that whole issue, was that a lot of people complained because Xbox simply wasn't clear with its audience. Don't get me wrong, gamers do not like change, and I'll be the first one to admit they do not like change. Whenever you have a reboot of an amazing and long-lasting franchise that is basically dying, or you have new characters introduced into a game that already has characters established and kind of taking the place of starring characters, or anything like that, you have backlash, and especially from gamers, because gamers do not like change. That's one of the biggest things that I think gamers and in the gaming world that we struggle with is changing the storylines of things that we know and love, whether the story is dying or not. And I think it goes the same with gaming and consoles. Changing things is okay. It's always going to be met with backlash, no matter what it is that you're changing. But I think that the real issue wasn't that the things that were brought out that Microsoft introduced was basically wrong, although people will argue with me. I know that Microsoft is trying to make leaps and bounds into the future of gaming. But I think the real issue is whether people agreed with what was announced or not, was the fact that you have to inform your audience clearly of what you're bringing to the table. And Microsoft did fail to do that. I think that they didn't quite eloquently explain to the gaming audience exactly what was going on. There were a lot of questions, and there were a lot of things waiting to be rolled out, and a lot of things were left unclear. And I think that's what the main issue was for a lot of people, was that there was a lot of confusion. And when you give gamers not enough information, they tend to freak out and get pissed off. And that's exactly what happened. So Microsoft has kind of done this kind of spiteful thing, giving the gamers what they want, but taking away some of the things that might have revolutionized the gaming world. So I think not only is Microsoft to blame, but it is also the people who complained so much and left so much hate and nasty comments that I think it just ended up swaying something that could have possibly changed the world of gaming. So I'm on neither side, but I do think that there's stuff to blame on both sides, both in the gaming as gamers and as a company. So I think that this should actually be a lesson to Microsoft and as well as any other company, that you have to be clear with what you're going to change and what you're going to introduce as new to people, so that way they know exactly what they're getting into and there's no gossip or rumors or just anything that will lead people away from your product. So it's a learning experience, and I think that we still have a long way until the Xbox One is released, so we could get more changes, but either way now, whatever Microsoft chooses to do is going to be met with criticism. Whether they give the gamers what they want, or whether they save their guns and do what they originally planned, there's going to be backlash either way. So I guess it's up to Microsoft now to make the right decisions as far as pleasing its gamers, because ultimately that's what's important to the company and should be important to the company, is the happiness of the gamers and the audience and the people who purchase these products, because that's ultimately where the money's going to come from. But it's all up to Microsoft as to what it decides to do. So that has been your E3 Microsoft coverage. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave some comments as to what you think. If you think I'm right or wrong, or if you have anything to contribute or add to what I've just said. I think that there's room for improvement, there's room for discussion, and for disagreements as well. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video and you liked what I had to say and covered what I could possibly cover. That way I know that I'm doing the right thing and making videos that you like. And if you really, really like it, be sure to subscribe, and you'll get plenty of other stuff from me. This channel is all over the place and random and covers a lot of things that I personally love. So if you like gaming and you like health and you like adventure and fun, I am the person for you. So go ahead, subscribe now. So, this concludes Awesomeness Overload. Stay mighty.